the sporting front, especially after such a busy weekend? And I must say the past weekend has been very interesting.
Jam-packed, lots of sporting action, that's true. And our sports buddy Ewan Lai is here to help us go through all the action. And of course, because we're totally biased to football, as is the case in most media, we'll talk about that first, even though the Rugby World Cup just finished. Okay, Man United suffering their worst loss. I mean, being hammered 6-1. Yeah.
It was shocking. It was shocking when they went 2-0 down, and it was shocking when they went 3-0 down, and then, they got a goal back, but, another 3 goals came along. But the problem with Sir Alex's, what went wrong was the strategy that he put forward a young side. There were well-known names on the bench, well, not even on the bench. Nemanja wasn't even in the squad. You had Park Ji-sung on the bench. Ryan Giggs wasn't even in the squad. Javier Hernandez started on bench. Dimitar Berbatov is on the bench. So he had a pretty young side. Danny Welbeck in the front, and at the back, Johnny Evans, who ended up being the villain of the piece when he got sent off, and which led to the
if you look at the lineup, it was young players. Do you think that
was the plan?
Yeah, it was intentional. So Alex Ferguson would just forget about this match.
Yeah, well, basically this is almost the same side that played in the charity or the Community Shield at the beginning of the season, and they beat City at that time 3-2. So he wanted pace. He wanted I guess a little bit of a speed in the side, but their problem was going forward. They were fine, but creating chances and stuff. But defensively, they were not very mobile. They took up positions, but they didn't track their man down. And this is where Roberto Mancini got his tactics spot on. He put in a really quick striker in Sergio Aguero, and then he had Mario Balotelli, who's an opportunist, and of course controversial as he is. Pops up, he scores the first goal, and and then it just all goes downhill from there. Yeah.
But I mean, this is still early on in the season, so it could be a choice that he's letting his guys kind of jump in the deep end, and figure out how to swim.
I'm just curious, because I didn't watch the match. When you watched the match, Sir Alex Ferguson's face as each goal was put in, I mean, how was he reacting to it? Was he cool about it, or did he seem a little...
Well, he doesn't get really livid nowadays, but but by the 4th, 5th, 6th goal, you could see he's just sitting in his chair, his arms were folded, and he was just like, okay, he probably wanted to get out there as much as the players.
Okay, so let's talk about that balance of power between the Manchester clubs. Has it shifted? Are we seeing the end of United's reign? Do you think? What do you think? Or is it just...
Well, it's definitely not the end of their reign. What we're seeing is probably a rise to power of Man City, and now both are on par. Perhaps City is even a little bit further in front because of this win. But it's a fantastic win for Roberto Mancini, because credit where credit is due. They were playing well. They were scoring big wins, but could they do it at Old Trafford? That was the big thing. So previously a derby where it was all just for pride, now has a big impact on the table. City are 5 points ahead of everyone else. Man U are 5 points behind in second, and you have Chelsea in third after they lost to QPR yesterday on 19 points. So Man U still in with a big shout early on in the season.
Man City deserved that win. They played really well. Let's
Definitely.
talk about rugby then, because
All right.
we finally have the
right.
winner. New Zealand, I mean,
that's right.
Such a close fight.
Yes, such a close fight. Definitely deserving winners. It's been 24 years since the first time they won it, and also on home ground in '87. This time home support, but everyone was cautiously confident. No one wanted to go on a limb and say, yeah, New Zealand are going to win it, because that's what's been happening for the past 7 World Cups, and nothing happened. So this time they went out. They got out to an early lead, scored a try, but then had their third choice fly half, Aaron Cruden, who replaced Colin Slade, who was also injured, who had replaced the injured Dan Carter, the star of the tournament, and he got injured as well. And Stephen Donald came on. He kicked the only penalty that they scored, and it was 8-0. It was early on, and you thought, okay, the game's just getting started.
Right.
But lo and behold, France come back, score a try, convert 8-7, and we have almost a third of the match to go. And I guess it's just all no scoring from there, but just really a lot of tension on the pitch.
It also shows, I mean, All Blacks did very well, but the French side did also superbly well.
Ironically, the French side didn't play very well in the semi-finals, scraped by Wales 9-8. Played so-so against subpar England side in the quarters, 16-12. And their best match in the final, they happened to lose, and by a single point. So I guess a little bit of a karma coming around.
It's better than being beaten 8-0. I mean,
All
You can-
6-1.
Yeah.
You can go home with some pride, you know.
Yeah.
Well, some sad news. Let's talk about MotoGP because just yesterday at the Malaysian Grand Prix, Marco Simoncelli was killed. You know, got into a bad accident there and died.
Yeah, very, very, very unfortunate. I mean, his death follows that of Dan Weldon in the IndyCar, and I guess brings into question the safety of motorsports. Well, the thing is that they might have all this, even Formula One, they might have all the safety precautions in place, but it's motor racing, and I think when Dan Weldon passed away, someone actually said, that's the only reason motorsport is a real sport, because it's the only one where your life is in danger. But I think, the reason it's sport is because your life shouldn't be in danger.
No, exactly.
It's the other way around. Yeah.
That's why the people play tennis, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Safe
Sprain
sport.
an ankle, that's about it, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
All right,
thanks.
thanks Ewan for
Thanks,
coming in
guys.
this morning, giving us all the important sports updates.
Our sports buddy, you and mine. On that note, we're taking off for a quick break. Be back in just a bit, so do stick around.